Now I'm going to tell you a little secret, something that my mentor says that most of the people out there who are teaching social marketing and SEO optimization are not telling you. Some of the really easy mistakes that can be made by amateur website people, even some of the ones that are out there teaching it. So it's when you put video on your site, when you use YouTube. What happens with YouTube is that it goes back to YouTube. Once you watch it embedded on your site, sure, it's on your site, but then, to see anything else that's related, it goes back to YouTube. So I use Viddler.com, Viddler. You can see it in the bottom corner right there. Viddler over here. And because it lets you customize your player to the colors that are in conjunction with your website, as well as you can put your own logo on there. Viddler has theirs, but you can change it, and it's linked to your site. Now, look what happens. This is my post right now. If I click anywhere on that, it goes right back to Viddler. Now, that's what happens with YouTube, and you can't change it in YouTube, but you can in Viddler. So in Viddler, go to your profile, go to settings, and then hit player branding. So that's the first thing we're going to look at. This is how I branded my player so far. This is the colors I have chosen. But originally, it looks more like that. Darker light version, but that is the original Viddler colors. So in order to change that, you can just hold on. Okay, so we're going to go back to what I have, but we're going to play around in this. So let's say the buttons clicked. I want to change that. Up comes your color wheel. You can play around, and if you see in the box, the colors are changing as I move the cursor. So you can visually pick the colors that you want, and it'll preview it, so play around with it. But once you find a color you like, you can highlight it, copy it, and then paste it into any of the other buttons that are up there, and there'll be a preview. So this is kind of what we did here. I changed those buttons. Now, to upload and customize your logo, get rid of that Powered by Viddler logo right now. Normally that'll send you back to Viddler.com, of course. Well, we're going to send it back to our site. Mine is webhead20.com. So put your URL in the logo URL section. And then create a logo for yourself if you haven't already. I've done that. Now with Viddler, you need to make sure it's small enough so that when it's on your player, it doesn't take up the whole screen. Because like the first time I did it, like took up a quarter of the screen. So I had to go into Photoshop and make that a little bit smaller. Actually, a lot a bit smaller. Then you upload it, and if you go down to the bottom, that's what my current logo will look like. And then you got your preview. Isn't that cool? Alright. Now I'm going to, obviously didn't save my first changes when I changed some of those buttons to an orange. So we're going to do that again just so you can see it. Playing around with it, see, yeah, there we go. I like that color. So, going to do it really fast. Copy. Paste, 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 and paste. And then save the changes again. And it pretty much matches that W there. Okay. Now the blue I think is a little bit too dark. It doesn't quite match the colors on my header. So let's play around with that a little bit too. Maybe make it lighter. Let's try that. And so we highlight it, Control C for copy, highlight the top part, Control V for paste. And save the changes. Now, it didn't make that much of a difference, so let's make it even lighter than that. Let's just play around with this a little bit more. We'll highlight it, Control C, and then Control V up at the top. That's good for now. And you can always go back in, go into your profile settings, and go into player settings. Okay. So now you see, so you go into your video, and you can see what your player looks like. Okay. Now what we're going to do is the permalink. If you go into Viddler.com, you can see that on this page. This is Viddler here. You see that permalink? It's sending you back to Viddler. Now, how to change that? Go into your dashboard, go into Edit, and on the top you'll see a permalink as well. Hit Edit that permalink, copy and paste that section. You can do put your cursor in there, hit Control A, Control C to copy. Now go back to your Viddler site on the permalink on the right hand side, edit it, put in your own URL, which is webhead20.com /, and then paste that last section that you copied from your dashboard into there and save it. Now, what happens now is that when you embed it on your site, it won't go, when you click on anything in your post-it on your website, it won't go back to Viddler, it will stay on your website. So there's your logo, we've done that. Let's just click onto it. Before, remember, it went back to Viddler, now it goes back to Webhead 2.0. So I've embedded my video on there, it stays on there, it doesn't go anywhere, it doesn't go back to YouTube. The problem with YouTube, unfortunately, is that it always goes back to YouTube once they've watched it if you want to see other videos. But YouTube also has a great audience, so you want to do both. You want to keep that all together. It doesn't mean don't post on YouTube. But when you try to, you embed you do your video on Viddler, so that all of your videos are from Viddler and they stay on your site. Okay? Again, this is Jen signing off. If you have any questions, give me a holler. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.